power of the dark side.
I'm not a baby, I'm a man. I am an anchor man.
Is this a kissing book?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
Hello, welcome along to Just Like in the Movies, brought to you by GK Media Ltd in association with iCinema Galway. On episode 5, we are looking at the new Irish movie A Bump Along the Way. We'll also be taking a look at the movie The Farewell. But first up, let's take a look at the new Irish TV drama Darklands.
Ladies and gentlemen, three-minute rounds in the flyweight division.
Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do it now.
Straight kicks.
Finish it, man!
Yes, Dino, come on! Big slap. Legs. Pass those legs. Come on, Damien.
There you go, that's a clip taken from the new Irish TV drama Darklands, which debuted on Irish television last Monday night, from director and co-writer Mark O'Connor, who brought us a number of Irish features down through the years, including Cardboard Gangsters a couple of years ago. And Dave, you got to see the new TV drama, 6-part TV drama based in a seaside town in Wicklow.
Yeah.
What do you make of it?
I was, skeptical at first, and, a lot of homegrown things like this, you're kind of skeptical, maybe they're going to be a bit ropey, a bit substandard, but I have to say this one surprised me. Mm-hmm. The lead actor, whose name escapes me, he's apparently an unknown, never acted before. He got his audition based on his martial arts skills. It's basically the story of a MMA fighter, up-and-coming young guy, and he's straight-laced. He wants to do his MMA and, eat healthy and get to weight, and he's focused. He's a good little kid, but he comes from a family with a troubled older brother who has a heart of gold, but he's a criminal. And, and his father is very kind of straight-laced and giving out about the brother, and his mother's just doing her best. And, it's kind of formulaic and standard fare, but it's rather well made.
Yeah.
The plot points are a bit predictable. The older brother who is he's in a gang and they're smuggling in drugs and all that kind of stuff, and then the father's telling him to get out of the house, and then he can't get a van, so he borrows the father's van, and the drug bust goes wrong. It's a bit formulaic, but it's actually very well made. Mark O'Halloran from Adam and Paul.
Yeah.
He's in it. He plays this young guy's coach.
Yeah.
And he's very good. I mean, Mark O'Halloran's a great actor, and very understated, well played. And the little kid,
he's brilliant.
He's fabulous.
Yeah.
Like he's not a moody, stroppy teenager. He's a dark, deep thinking type of character, and obviously the martial arts stuff, he can do this stuff. He's doing all this martial artist stuff in the training and in the fights, but it's not about the fights. That's just his hobby.
Yeah.
That's his thing that he holds on to in life. And the turmoil around him and his family is, and he's at the back, is my brother there? And they're like, no, he's not here yet, like, because he's off being a gangster, and he undermines his fighting ability and everything. And it's actually good, and it made me think.
I thought the fight scenes were really good in the octagon, because I've tried to do stuff before with fight scenes for mess about short films. It's very hard to do a good fight scene.
You could tell that there was a bit of proper choreography done, and it was well blocked out. And obviously they didn't have a big budget to have big crowds and lighting, and but it was good.
Yeah,
I have to say I enjoyed it, and I would be looking forward to watching the other 5 episodes for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was very well cast, and as you said, it's pretty much a cast of unknowns.
Oh yeah.
And this is Mark O'Connor's kind of the guy who founded Barry Keoghan, who was an unknown then and is very well known now.
Yeah.
He even featured on Living with Lucy.
Yeah.
That'll tell you.
Yeah. He's made it now.
No, but I thought it was really well cast, and as you said, it's probably a low budget. I thought the cinematography was really good. Fight scenes are really good. I think the story is as good as it could be based on the sort of genre that it is.
The genre and the scope and the budget that they have, they're doing well.
Yeah.
And I mean, pardon the pun, but they're punching above their weight.
Yeah.
And this kid, he's not Hollywood superstar looking man. He's a handsome boy, but he's got great physicality. I even after one episode of this, I can say, right, this kid is a good actor, and maybe he's going to get some acting training. Because he's got it. He's got the natural acting talent, and he's young, and he's got the physicality to do all the kung fu stuff and all that stuff. But he has pathos and credibility as an actor, and I'm like, we can see more of this guy. I'm kind of annoyed at myself that I didn't look up his name, but I have a funny feeling I'll know his name next week, you know.
Yeah. It's funny, actually, because I went on Twitter after the show, because it was trending on Twitter on Monday night, and it was like Tuesday with the election. There was people who was like, loved it, thought it was okay, and not happy whatsoever. And I was looking at some of the tweets and some of the negative ones, because they often kind of draw our attention. I just thought, sometimes people just like being critical for the sake of it, no matter what's on.
Just wanna be
especially
contrarian.
criticizing our own. And I thought, in fairness, it is a good TV show.
Yeah.
It's very well cast.
Yeah.
The shots are really good.
Yeah.
Give it a chance. It's only the
there was
first
a couple of drone
episode.
shots that weren't just, I got a drone, let's throw it in there. They actually helped the story along. And there was a few cinematic moments. It's a low-budget TV show. No offense to Virgin Media, but, they didn't have loads of money to throw. It's not Game of Thrones here. And it was good. It was credible. I enjoyed it. And it made me go, I wonder what's going to happen in episode 2. So it got me.
There you go. That is Darklands, which is on Virgin 1 on Monday nights, and you'll be able to catch it as well on their player. Next up, we're looking at the movie The Farewell.
What's wrong, Dad? Please tell me.
Your nan is dying.
She doesn't know, so you can't say anything. The family thinks it's better not to tell her.
Why is that better?
Chinese people have saying, when people get cancer, they die. We have to go to China.
Wedding is an excuse so everyone can see her.
He's my only cousin. Don't you think I should be there?
You can't hide your emotions. If you go, Nana will find out right away.
Really 啊？咋啦？咋不说话呢？
That's The Farewell, out in cinemas at the moment, from writer-director Lulu Wang, and apparently the story is based on a true story of an incident that basically happened to her in real life. Lisa, you got to go and check out this, shall we say, sweet movie. Mm-hmm. What's it about?
Basically, Awkwafina plays Billy, and
don't be looking at the poster now.
I just like to look at her because she's great. She was in Crazy Rich Asians. She stole the show in that movie, and she's the lead actress in this one. And she's in New York with her parents. They're Chinese immigrants who live in New York, and she's grown up there. And her grandmother is sick back in Beijing, and the family come together to decide that they're not going to tell the grandmother that she's sick, because they just want to protect her. And the doctor says she only has months to live. So they're like, okay, we're going to protect her, and we're all going to go home, and we're all going to see her. And they're going to have a wedding to make out the reason that they're all going to go back. So, like, he has a brother that in Japan that he hasn't seen in... Well, they haven't been together in Beijing in 25 years. He's got lots of other relatives, nieces and nephews and stuff. And... the Nine is the granny in question, and she's just priceless. She's just really good. She was in the army. She does all this, like, I can't remember how. Is it Krav Maga? I can't remember what you call that thing that they do. It's like a
Tai Chi, no?
It's like Tai Chi.
It's a martial art.
It's a martial art, and she's still doing it, and she's like, I don't know, nearly 90, I think, at this stage.
Because it's funny, isn't it?
It's not, very funny.
I know the idea of it is sad, but...
It's sad, but like Awkwafina is very good. You see, she's going through a lot of stuff herself. She's trying to get this, she's trying to progress in her career, and she is trying to get a fellowship, and she gets the news before she leaves for Beijing that she didn't get it, and everyone's always asking her, like, what, are you going to get it? And she lies, but towards the end of the movie, she comes clean and she's like, I didn't get it.
Because I know people were hoping that it was going to be like the next big Crazy Rich Asians
No.
movie.
It's not that kind of movie at all. It's not. There's a lot of money going into Crazy Rich Asians. This is more of a low budget, and there's a lot of great actors in it that you'll recognise from loads of different things.
Yeah.
And it's just a really, really good film, very good story. That's the main thing that I found about this week, that I saw two really good movies, and the story behind them was really good, and the ending is excellent in this film. It's like, and you have to stay for the closing credits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I haven't seen it, but for me, the part that sticks out is the tagline, based on an actual life.
Yeah, I love that.
So that makes me go, I want to see it. I didn't get a chance to see it, but I think it's on my list, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know how true this is, but it said Eric Cohn did an article for IndieWire and said that when this movie opened in limited release in July, it beat out Avengers Endgame for the year's biggest per theatre average.
Where?
Wow.
I don't know, because like it took in 20 million globally, box office wise, which is credible. It's not huge money, but it was nominated for Best International Feature at the Galway Film Fleadh.
Ah.
And it won at a few film festivals, including the Atlanta Film Festival, which we must pretend we know really well, so
We
they might
do.
invite us over.
Maybe they will. Call us. Yeah. So I loved it. It was really good. I think a 4.
Very good.
Before you even ask, sorry.
Yeah, I would know. I was just
Like
about
it
to
was
ask.
just a solid story, solid acting, funny.
Is it a bit of a tearjerker?
For me, no, because like it
Well, we
takes a
know
lot
you're
to
made
make.
of stone,
I'm
yeah.
made of stone. It's you don't cry because there's no need to.
I'd probably be bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you won't. You won't.
Do you get the lump in the throat?
No, you didn't. You didn't need to. It's more funny than sad.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quirky.
There's questions I want to ask, but then I don't want to kind of
Give it
ruin
away.
the ending and give it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to catch that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, there you go. 4 out of 5 from Lisa, The Farewell, out in cinemas at the moment. The next one that we're looking at is a new Irish feature film, which is coming out in cinemas nationwide this weekend. It won at the Galway Film Fleadh, including one of the new up-and-coming actresses as well. It's called A Bump Along the Way. Let's take a look at it.
Let's go back to your gaff.
My daughter's there. Let's go to yours.
I live with my man and dad.
You're just going to sit there hungover all day? You're going to have a wee baby?
At my age? What if there's something wrong with it?
Oh, jeez, Pam, don't talk like that.
There are definite advantages to having a baby at your age. One has more sense, more experience, and you are financially better off.
Who's the dad?
You told me that you couldn't have any Waynes.
I don't know him, darling.
Stop.
That's a clip taken from the new Irish movie A Bump Along the Way, starring Brona Gallagher and new actress Lola Pettigrew, who won the Bingham Ray New Talent Award at the Galway Film Fleadh. We all got to see this movie during the week. Thank you, Element Pictures, for sending it on to us. I'm going to start off. I was really, really impressed with this movie. I didn't see it at the Fleadh. I saw it during the week. I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Loved it.
I agree. Yeah, I mean it's a little gem, and I can just see it getting legs. I mean, go and see it in the cinema. Support, Irish filmmakers. They probably didn't have a big budget for this, but Brona Gallagher is brilliant in it. There's no doubt about it. And Lola Pettigrew is brilliant in it as the daughter. And I like the fact that it was written by a woman, it was directed by a woman, starring 2 powerful women about the struggles that they have. There's only one nice man in the whole story, and that's the baker who looks
And
after
the
her.
teacher.
And the teacher and
what's
the
his name?
husband of
Paddy
the best friend.
Courtney.
Paddy Courtney.
I love
Oh,
Paddy.
I love
Yeah,
Paddy
he's
Courtney.
I want to see him in every Irish movie.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry to Paddy Courtney. He slipped my memory there. He's actually quite good as the
Yeah.
teacher too. But
And I've met him in real life, and he's just really sound.
Oh, he is.
He's
Sounds
really
a pound.
nice.
But I mean, it's a real female-led movie, and it's a lot of female stories. Correct me if I'm wrong. We have a lady.
And
here.
she wrote it when she was pregnant as well.
Yeah, and the director apparently had a baby in her 40s as well. No, it's not her story. It's just
Shelley Love.
Yeah, she had a baby in her 40s apparently, and it's just a really sweet. It's kind of a mixture of coming of age for the daughter and drama with the mother. And
So we better tell people what it's about.
Yeah.
So basically it's about Brona Gallagher is 44, I do believe.
Yeah.
And she finds herself pregnant. She didn't know she could get pregnant again.
Yeah.
She has a 16-year-old daughter as well, and all of the repercussions that all of that brings.
Because the 16-year-old daughter kind of turns into the mother.
Well,
Yeah,
she-
And the
she's
mother is
our-
more like the teenager.
Yeah, the 16-year-old daughter, she's getting bullied at school, but she's an extremely talented artist and she's a good student, and she has unrequited love for one of her classmates, this tall blonde fella that she's mad into, and she's not able to stand up for herself in school. She's getting bullied. She's not able to, articulate that she likes this boy and whatever, and she's kind of in a slump and coming of age, kind of the world is getting down on her, and there's moments of, despair and everything, but it's not a dark movie in that way.
No.
It's kind of an exploration of, and she finds her way, and she's kind of swinging back and forth about supporting the mother and then not. And the mother is just trying to do the best she can. And she has 2
Single
deadbeats
mother.
in her life. The deadbeat of the father of the 16-year-old, who's a bit of an idiot.
Yeah.
And then this other fella who had a bit of how's your father with her at the beginning of the movie and basically tells her to get stuffed.
Yeah.
And he wants to have nothing to do with her. And He's a very unsavory character.
Oh,
I think.
he's a nasty guy.
And but it's really well made.
Like the opening movie where he's bringing Brona Gallagher back, and then she kind of says, "Oh, I'm just down here to the left."
And he doesn't even
it
drop
doesn't
her to
bother.
the
He's like, "No, because I'm going the other way."
I'm turning here so you can walk from here.
Yeah, but I just thought like the little kind of reaction she gave was perfect.
Oh yeah.
Especially for film, no OT. But I was nearly jumping on my seat at this stage because I was like, she is brilliant. Already she's brilliant in this. I loved the commitments and I loved her in the commitments.
But
I thought, wow, she's excellent.
This is her natural accent, apparently. She had to practice the Dublin accent for the commitments. But this Derry accent is her natural accent. So,
which we all saw in Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
Yes.
And
remember that?
Can you think of the last time?
No, but I don't think in Pulp Fiction she got to show.
No, but she was Nordy in that.
Yeah,
she was what?
She was from Derry in that.
Okay,
yeah.
She was also in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, if you remember.
Was she?
Oh, right.
She was, yeah.
Crikey.
There you go. But she's a really underrated actress.
Completely.
I mean, Brona Gallagher should be in a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
She's got a fabulously expressive face. So she has these little nuances that she does with her face. And she's got a great sense of humour. And it comes across, there's a lovely moment where she's in the bakery. She works part-time in a bakery. So she's in the bakery and she's this lovely baker, a friend of hers who runs the bakery, and he's nice to her, and he's like, look, if I had a dozen of you, I'd rule the world, and she's a brilliant worker. And she's eating for two, so she's horsing in a few cakes, right? And she's got cream on her nose and everything. And next thing, the bad man, shall we say, who
Barry,
Barry's man, and it says on the side of the van, anywhere, anyhow, anyone, on the side of the van, which is wonderful production line. Hats off to the production designers there. But the van pulls up right outside the shop. Now he doesn't come into the shop right, but she sees him. She's like, "Oh Jesus!" and she bends down and she's wolfing this eclair or whatever, and she's there, kind of behind the sneeze guard, and she's got her little hat on, and there's a big lump of cream in her nose, and she's like, wiping it, but there's still some there, and she just owns it. Like she has this natural, every woman kind of character, and she's brilliant.
And let's talk about the other amazing lady in it, Lola Pettigrew. So it won Best First Feature at the Galway Film Festival, this movie, Bump Along the Way. But Lola won the Bingham Ray New Talent Award as well.
Very good.
I
Very
was like,
well
where was this lady?
Yeah.
Because
But she is still 16, isn't she?
But I thought, to be honest with you now, and this people mightn't like this comment, but I thought I know she's a teenager, but playing a teenager and the roller coaster of emotions and everything, I thought she did a better performance of that than Saoirse Ronan did in Lady Bird.
You could sing that.
Do you know what? Yeah. I think I agree with you. Obviously, Saoirse Ronan is a very powerful actress now.
Yeah.
This lady she's right there. She could be the next Saoirse Ronan. She's that good. And this performance is, heartfelt, powerful, not over the top. It's played straight. There's a scene where she gets drunk and makes a fool of herself, and it's really well done. And the regret afterwards, and the pain that she goes through. We look at it as adults and go, "Oh, what's wrong with her? There's nothing, no big problem." But as a teenager, when your friends
are your biggest problems.
Yeah, when your friends are slagging you too much, and you're being
this is in the
bullied
world of social media now, which thankfully we didn't have to face.
As was mentioned,
teens.
there's a great scene with the Brona and her best friend Sinead in it, where they go, "Oh, she was up to this or whatever," but like they were up to worse in their day, but nobody had phones.
Yeah.
So they were lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we all were.
Thank God.
But I mean, it's a great movie, and this Lola Pettigrew, my God, I mean, she won the Bingham Ray Award this year, and Bingham Ray, God rest him, he would certainly take his hat off to her if he's around, because she's certainly a star of the future, if you ask me.
Definitely. She's the next Lola Pettigrew, not the next Saoirse Ronan.
There you go.
Thank
So
you.
that's the first kind of mainstream performance we've seen from her. Debut feature for the director, Shelley Love.
Yeah.
Debut feature for the writer, Tess McGowan.
Yeah. Like, it's great to see this Irish talent.
Yeah.
And it's great to see ladies in film being able to write a good script, a female director, not like one lady who wrote and directed, two females who can come up and say, right, I'm going to do this. And it's a female-led story. It's about a mother and daughter relationship, and it's really well made. It's not over the top. There's no big kind of girl power nonsense.
No.
It's just, this is our work. We're going to produce a good film. And they have.
Yeah.
And I would definitely recommend this film.
And maybe the clip that we just heard or saw, depending if you're watching the show on YouTube or you're listening to the podcast, it might seem a little dark, but it's not. It's not a dark movie. It's not a sad movie.
No.
It's really good, really funny, and I do think kind of quite true to life as well.
Yeah, it's really relatable. That's the great thing about it. But the story, at the end of the day, when you have good writing, that's your sound. Like you're good to go.
Well written,
Yeah.
well directed. I mean, it's simple. There's no big flashy direction. It's just nicely directed. It's a tight film in terms of structure. It's an hour and 35 minutes roughly long, and it's there's nothing wasted. And there's some nice little scenes that bring a lot of character. It's a character movie about this mother who is a lovely woman, and she just made the odd wrong decision, but she's doing her best, always doing her best.
Yeah.
And her best friend is very good in it as well.
Yeah.
And
Sinead, is it?
Sinead.
And even the supporting cast of Lola Pettigrew, all the kids in the school.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
kids in
Like
school
they're
are great.
brilliant.
They're
yeah.
brilliant. Even the tall guy with the dyed blonde hair who's the heartthrob, and the two Egypts.
And the bullies.
The two
Yeah.
Muppet bullies in the back. They're really well acted.
Yeah.
And then her friends, a little conflict there. It's just well done,
Yeah,
honestly.
absolutely. Out of 5, Lisa?
4.
Excellent. Dave?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a solid 4 too, yeah.
Okay.
Good solid
Yeah.
4 movie,
Excellent. Yeah, I really, really do highly recommend that you check out A Bump Along the Way in cinemas this weekend. It is a brilliant new Irish feature film. It is picking up a number of awards along the way, and we always please do ask you to go out and support the Irish film industry. You will not be disappointed checking this movie out in your local cinema.
Here.
And speaking of local cinemas, let's get a little message from our sponsors, iCinema, but stay with us as well, because our roving reporter Suzanne is going to be hitting the cinema as well to see what people's reaction are to some of the movies out at the moment. Stay with us.
So I'm just here after the movie Joker, and everyone seems to be like absolutely delighted after watching it. I'm just going to try and find someone who's going to want to talk about it now. So here we have Connor, and he's just in the middle of watching the movie Joker. Connor, what do you think of the movie so far?
The movie is very good acting.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoying my experience at the cinema.
Really? Would you recommend it to the public?
I would recommend it to the public, yeah. 5-star.
Great, brilliant. Thanks, Connor.
Yeah, I think it was really good, definitely. It takes a lot of thinking about. It takes a bit of time to kind of process what happened in it, but yeah, it was a serious film.
A good movie overall?
A seriously good film and very exciting as well. I liked it.
Very good, great. And you'd recommend it to a friend?
Definitely, as long as they're not delicate, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah, no, it was good.
I think it gets a 5 out of 5. Definitely. Really good.
Oh,
really good.
brilliant. Would
So,
you recommend it to a friend?
For all my friends out there, all my homies out there, yeah, guys, go check this out.
It was okay. It wasn't. I thought it was hyped up a bit. Now I was expecting something better, but c'est la vie, yeah.
Okay.
But it was okay. It was watchable. But
You wouldn't recommend it to a friend?
I'd say go and see it because other people thought it was brilliant. So that's just my opinion, But it was okay,
I thought it was excellent. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Just watching the slow descent into madness, I thought the editing was amazing and the soundtrack was amazing, and just really just going with him on that mad journey.
Yeah.
I would definitely go see it again.
And there you have it, feedback from the Joker here at the iCinema Galway. Most people said it was excellent, and some even reported that they'd go back twice. Now, over to you, Garry.
And we're back, and maybe in the background you might be able to hear some film score. That's actually Joker, which is on at the moment in the luxury screen. And you saw it last week.
Twice.
You saw it twice?
Yeah, me
And are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
But you just come out of seeing the movie, and I don't think, you did a great review, but I think it's still sinking in, the fact that you've gone to see it twice. I mean, we found out since, because we were doing the show at the weekend, that weekend, the opening weekend, it took in $236 million worldwide. Yeah. $55 million it cost to make. They were hoping to make the money back at the weekend. People were crazily predicting it might make $95 million. It made $236 million. And I know in the cinema in particular, they're having like 5 screenings of it simultaneously, completely sold out on a weekday.
Yeah.
This film's gone mad.
It's an October box office record. The highest box office in October in the history of planet Earth. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's amazing. And I've seen it twice. Possibly going to see it again. Because people want to go and see it.
Is it that you're seeing more and more the more you see it?
Oh, yeah. The second time I saw it, I saw more. Like, my favourite Easter egg was the 90s Batman TV series, if you remember, the animation TV series, the one that we would have grown up with.
Yeah.
Even though I never grew up, I just got taller.
Mhm.
The font for that TV show is the same font used for the Murray Franklin show. That's the kind of detail.
Good
of
God,
nerd
David,
stuff.
that's a lot of
That's
information.
some serious. Well, I'm a graphic designer by trade, so I see these things. But I mean that, and like there's little nuances that you don't see, and the film is phenomenally well made, and it's like a movie fell out of my top 20. I haven't decided which yet, because Joker is now in my top 20. That's how good it is.
Fact.
People are leaving the movie. I think we should point or discuss this again. People have been leaving the movie though as well because it's just the sheer violence and the reality of it. Can we knock this on the head?
It's very visceral. No, it's very visceral. I mean, for example, if you look at Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the violence at the end of that movie, it's Tarantino-esque, all right? And Tarantino-esque violence is violent and shocking and what have you. But there's a certain little filter in Tarantino stuff of surrealness and comic bookiness, and it's a little bit gory, and you know it's a bit
mocking.
a little bit. Oh, you can suspend your disbelief quite easily. Whereas with this movie, it's so real.
Yeah, you actually think he did it.
The performance is so real, and there's there's a moment with no spoilers for anybody, but there's a moment of violence in a room that's explosive. But he's standing there very calmly. And he's almost relaxed, and his shoulders are down. And
Hi, guys.
And then he's talking to somebody, and there's a conversation happening. And in the middle of the conversation is I won't tell you what happened, but a piece of violence happens. And there's another person in the room. So there's 3 people in the room: Joker and 2 others. And Joker attacks one of the people, and I won't tell you any more than that. But the other person is sitting there.
You said you wouldn't tell us any more than that.
No, but I mean, you know,
but you have a witness
after
and
the violence,
you see the witness,
happens,
effect on the
Joker
witness.
is very calm. And he's like, and then this other person in the room who wasn't involved with the violence is petrified. And the audience can feel this. So it is a very visceral film, and it will get your emotions. And there's moments of awkwardness. You know, when he's doing the stand-up, it's hard to watch. There's pieces of this film that are hard to watch, but the payoff for me is phenomenal. So I can understand why people are uncomfortable with it. It's like
but those people are just like, what are you going to see a movie like that for if you're going to get uncomfortable?
It's not a
when
kids
someone
movie.
gets
Like, people think Joker, I'm going to bring the kids. It's a 15s movie, and
16s
or whatever it is, and it might even should be 18s. You know, because there's some moments of violence, and it's a psychological thriller drama. It's heavy, like in the best possible way, and not to be underestimated in terms of the impact this film can have. So people are walking around the film, I can understand why, If
you're one of the few who hasn't seen it yet, it's well worth seeing.
It's the film of the year, without doubt.
Absolutely.
So there you go. That is Joker out in cinemas at the moment. Make sure you do go and check it out if you haven't seen it yet. And I think Joker is something that we'll be discussing for
many years to come.
Yeah, well, certainly for the next few months anyways, especially in the run-up to the Oscars. And of course, our own colleague Dave Coyne could be dressed up as the Joker if Joaquin Phoenix doesn't win Best Actor.
If he doesn't win, I'll wear the full makeup. I will.
Yeah, so I have a conflict of interest. I want Joaquin to get the Oscar, but I kind of don't, so I can.
Yeah, I really want to
ridicule you for like 30 minutes. We won't review any movies. We'll just point and laugh.
Yeah, I might just laugh and freak you out.
So there you go. That is Joker out in cinemas, and if you haven't seen Joaquin's performance, you might get to see Dave Coyne's performance as well early next year for Series 5. Yeah, we're on Series 4. Next week is the final episode of Series 4, but we will be back again with you very shortly. Make sure you subscribe on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher. If you love your podcast, if you love traveling in the car, on the bus, on the train, listen to a really good film show, please do subscribe and spread the word if you can as well about the show. We're also on YouTube as well. You can catch the full show on YouTube as well each and every week. So it'd be great as well if you can give us a like, a comment, subscribe to the channel. You can catch it on the GK Media YouTube channel. Thanks for supporting the show. Thanks for watching. Thanks to iCinema. Thanks to Dave Coyne.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Lisa Tracy.
No problem.
Thanks to our amazing cinematographer as well, Damien, who's operating 4 cameras at once. He's a busy guy. Thanks to Suzanne as well, who has been helping us produce the show, and she's been out and about as well, catching up with the moviegoers here at the iCinema. We'll talk to you again next week for episode 6 in the final episode of series 4 of Just Like in the Movies.